Hey gang, it's Taki here. I'm in a little town whose name I've forgotten, Skagard or something like that. I'm in Croatia. We've just got off the boat. Kids are having a little jump on the trampoline thing here. I've got a question from a client here in Black Belt called Nima, and Nima wants to know how do I teach and sell at the same time? In other words, how do I deliver content that feels useful but also moves people towards buying my stuff? Super great question. Let's chat about it now. I'm going to flip this camera around and I don't know if this is going to, yeah, I reckon this will work. So here's the thing. I don't know if you've noticed, but the line between your content and marketing has blurred. And it's been blurring for quite some time. This isn't new, it's been happening for ages. Remember in the old days, they had newspapers, right? And you'd go for the newspapers. First they had newspapers and articles and ads. And then someone goes, hey, they're coming for this, they're ignoring the ads. Let's create advertorial, right? And then you go to TV. And in TV they had the shows. And then they had the ads, the commercials. And then somebody smart said, hey, let's blend the two together and let's come up with infomercials. Hey. Then somebody else, let's think about movies. So they've got the movies and we've got the ads beforehand, which nobody really watches. And then let's do product placement. So I want you to notice that the line between content and marketing has been blurring for quite some time. And so this is really a core skill that you want to develop. Yeah? I'm not sure who my new friend is, but he's right into this. So here's the thing. As a context, one of the core skills you can develop on your way to $1 million coaching business is the ability to teach content in a way that moves people forwards and sell in a way that feels like content. When you can sell in a way that feels like content, people are receptive to it. And when you can teach in a way that moves people forward, obviously, they will move. A friend of mine, Christian Michelson, actually, years ago, said something that really stuck with me. He said, your marketing will probably change more lives than your content, than your coaching ever will. And that's because of scale and volume. So let's just talk about a couple of ways to do this. One way is with, where can you apply this? Well, you can apply this in webinars, from stage presentations. You can apply this in a one-on-one sales situation. You probably don't need to, but you can. You can certainly apply this in videos like this one right here. And you can apply it in blogs or every piece of content you create. So what you want to do is you want to think about, what's the thing I want to sell, right? And then how do I insert that into some content? My very first experience of this was years ago, back when I was dead broke and I had to borrow $200 from Sam, my friend Sam. If you're watching this, thank you so much. I had to borrow $200 from Sam just to buy groceries to feed the fam. I got booked on a webinar. First one I'd ever done. By the way, they're not my kids, but they seem like great kids. Hey guys. Got booked on a webinar and it was an interview. I'd never been interviewed before. It was my first kind of public presentation, I suppose. And I've been coaching kind of privately, but hadn't done that stuff before. And it was like, send me over the questions. I thought, well, this is a great opportunity. So what I did was I made a list of the 7 biggest wins I'd ever had with clients, 7 biggest kind of client results that I'd had. And then thought, well, if that's the win, what question could I get him to ask me that would let me kind of, as part of my answer, just drop that story, almost like I came up with it on the fly. So the whole thing is really around planned spontaneity. Anyway, so that's just an example. So this guy asked me a question and I'd say, hey, it's a really good question. It's really important because of X, Y, Z. Let me give you an example. And I just tell that story. And all of a sudden I taught great content and sold my stuff in a way that felt like it was a straight give, but all of the influence is happening behind the scenes. Oh, you know, there's always like two conversations going on. There's the content you're teaching, and there's the underlying message. Does that make sense? So, Nima, I just wanted to say that this happens everywhere, and if you want some specific examples of kind of where to find this inside Black Belt, then obviously the webinar selling intensive is perfect for that. For short, 2 to 3 minute blog videos, the video flow is perfect. The framework goes promise, brand yourself, seed, and teach, and then call to action and sign off. The seed and teach is the perfect example. It's teach and sell. It's teach and sell, right? So I think rather than say, where's the framework for this? You're in Black Belt already. The short answer is, where isn't there? It's in every single piece of marketing I do. But if you want a couple of great examples, the webinar selling framework, amazing. Number 2, the strategy session seeder, where we take 3 client case studies and seed them in. Perfect. The case study builder, another great example. If you're presenting from stage, then the influence installer and the choreograph close are just beautiful examples of weaving teach and sell in. Otherwise, dude, just watch everything we do in public and you'll see a ton of it going on. Our rule is always, we give in public and we only ever ask in private. And because of that, your reputation is squeaky clean. And a big part of this thing, frankly, I think it's one of the master skills you can learn, is how to teach in a way, teach in a way that moves people, and how to sell in a way that feels like content. It's certainly kind of been one of our secret weapons. Cool? Maggie, yeah, don't teach too much. Problem, agitate, and solve. 100%. I'm not sure if it's a question of not teaching so much. I think it's just a question of teach different, really. A lot of our public content is why content, and it's what to do content, and it's what not to do content. The how almost always lives in the, in the paid piece of work. But frankly, there's 2 schools of thought on this. Some people say, move the free line and give away your best stuff, and others say, don't give it all away, otherwise people won't need you. And frankly, I believe that when you give freely of your information, you earn the right to charge a premium for implementation. I'll say that again. When you give freely of your information, you earn the right to charge a premium for implementation. Yes, Maggie, 100%. Teach people what to want. I totally agree with that. So listen, that's enough from me for now. If you're watching this live in Black Belt with me now, then you totally get this, and you've got a bunch of resources to go to. If you're watching this on my page somewhere, or maybe elsewhere on the webs later on, dude, if you want to get around other people who are scaling it and learn how to do this and see some examples, then join our Facebook group, The Dojo. And I'll put a link in either the description or first comment for you to join us there, and let's have a little bit of fun together. Cool? Take good care, guys. Lots of fun. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.